Good morning and welcome to my channel. My name is Eren Rana, and in today's video, our main objective would be the routing part in the React JS library. So the main objective is written over here, which is add routing in the navigation bar. Create a navigation bar that supports routing. So as you can see that this is the navigation bar that we have been provided. My navigation bar looks a bit different, or we can say that it's exact. I have done my routing in the previous project that I explained in my previous video, in which I explained about responsive redesign. But in this video, I'll be explaining how I added my routing in that same project only. So as you can see that first, if we click on the home page, this should pop out, which is this is the home page. If we click on about, it should pop out the hello about. If we click on the sign in, then it should pop out hello sign in. If we click on the contact, then it should show that hello contact. Now each of these are different web pages, or you can say different component rendering when we click on the specific navigation bar. Now coming to the code, as you can see that this is my app.js. You can notice there are some things different in this whole app.js command. Now the let's come to the routing. What is routing? Now, routing is a process of redirecting the user towards a different page, or to render a different component within the same page without refreshing it. It require it, there are two types of routing, which is the static one and there is the dynamic one. The static one routing is known as when the user is redirected on the basis of the pre-coded stuff inside the website. But the dynamic routing comes under this area when the routing only depends on what the user interaction is ultimately is. So it means that, for example, if we go on a site and it shows us to log in or sign up. So what the user does that if he or she enters the email, then what happens is that if the user already has account in that particular website, then it would show the pop-out to enter only the password and then log in. But if the user is a completely new user and have not made an account in that particular site, then what would happen? If he would be he or she would be redirected to another component or a site in which is specifically for signing in a new user. So as you can see that the interaction of the user depends dictated where the page redirected the user. So that is known as the dynamic routing. Now, when we come to the routing in React.js, there is a specific library that we first need to install, which is React Router DOM. And how do we install that? We go on our terminal. After going to our terminal, we should be on. Let's me just kill at this one terminal. So if we go on our terminal, first, as you can see, this is the folder name, React code. Now we need to change our directory to the project we are currently on. So this is my project responsive design layout plus routing one. So I'm simply copying its name and I'll write CD, which means same change directory, and responsive website layout plus routing. This is the current file. As you can see that I have changed my directory and now I'm currently in my this file which where my routing is being done. Now to import to use the React router DOM library, as you can see this see that I have written in my import line as well. First, what we need to do, we need to install it. So how do we install it? We write the command like just a second. We write the command which is npm install react router and DOM. So this is the command to install my routing system. And after the installation, it would look something like this. Now comes the main stuff. Now there are three components that we need to take care about. First is the router, second is the routes, and third is the route. So let me first navigate to my index.js. Now, as you can see that this is the main root folder from where all the rendering of the components take place. As you can see that this is where this is the root render command that we apply for the component, which is our root main root. So as you can see that first what I did in my index.js, I imported my browser router as the router. As you can see that in this import command, I imported my browser router, this browser router as the router from my React router DOM library. Now, what this router does that is it is a type of a container, and whatever components are defined inside of it, it lets them know that okay, this can be a router. Sorry, this is a router. It is able to route towards a different website or different component. So as you can see that after importing this as the router, I used it as a wrapper class, and I wrapped my app.js inside this router component that I just imported. So it enables the app.js to become a router, and it is able, because of this wrapper class, it is able to route us to different pages or different or to render different components according to the inputs of the user or according to the software that we have been pre-coded inside of it. Now we come to the app.js. As you can see that in the app.js, what we does that we import two more components, which are routes and route. As you can see that in this import line, routes, this is the route and this is route from React Router DOM. Now the routes, what happens in the routes? Routes is another wrapper class, and it's known as it can how can you say that? First, it can route, and the routes first was the router, which says that it can route anything, and now comes the route. It means that it can route these things, and now comes after that comes the single thing, which is route, which is where to route. Now this routes class, what is does that? It is a wrapper class, and it contains all the all the web pages or the components that we need to route it to, and it as I told you, it lets them know that what the app.js can route. Okay, and this route component that I have imported over here, it lets the app.js know that where to route, and it has specific attributes as well. As you can see that the route contains path. So also I forgot to mention that browser router enables the routing through the URL of our page. So as you can see that it is known as the browser router. Also, when we wrap in our app.js inside of it, it enables it to use the URL as the path defining line, and through that URL we can route to different components according to the path they are attached to. So as you can see that if my path ends with a single forward slash, then it would route me to the this element, as which is my home element. Now let me just open home element. Now what does my home element contains? It contains my nav function, which is my navigation bar, which is this navigation bar, and it contains my this card. This is my home function that I'm talking about, home component that I'm talking about, and it also contains this dev section over here. Now, I'll explain. I'll go through each and every section. So first is my home section, which is my in my home tab, home button, as you can say that. Now comes the main section, then the news section, then the notes section, then the about us section. So let me go to the main section. This is my main section. It again contains my navigation bar within the container, which contains my whole navigation, and it also contains this text, which is this is the main section. Similarly, for news section and notes section, and finally the about us section. So now coming back to the app.js. So what is that? It will read our URL. And if our URL ends with this function, then this line or this string, then what would happen? It would render, because we are using the component, and it would render this component. If we mention a specific site in it, then it would redirect to us to a different site. So it would render this element, as you can say that it is inside the element within the curly braces. And if our URL of the app.js ends with this particular string, then it would route this main string. And if our URL is ending with this one, then it would with slash news, then it would render the news element. If it is ending with the string slash note, then it would render the notes element. Similarly for the about us element. Now, okay, we have defined that we are using the URL as the path finder, and whatever the specific string or combination of strings the URL ends with, we need to specifically render the specific elements that we are defining inside the wrapper class routes, and which defines where to route, and how are we defining where to route with the help of route function. And now comes how to trigger these changes. Now there is a tag called as link. It is similar to anchor tag, but very different in many ways. Now, how it is different with the link tag. Now, let me first show you how I am using it. Now, inside my nav tag, as I have told you, these are kind of like buttons or active links. And whenever I click on these, their respective components would get rendered without refreshing the whole page. Which is the actual beauty of the whole React library, is that we can render different components or bring different data without refreshing the page. Now, the main difference between the link and the anchor tag would be that when we use the anchor tag, then it refreshes the whole page and reestablishes the connection again. But when we come to the link tag, what is that? It does that it links the text or whatever element is inside the wrapper class of link, and it simply triggers the route function within my routes function, and it then re-renders the component or the page inside my main web page without refreshing it. So that is the only main difference between the link tag. As you can see that I am defining this icon and the text in all of these cases as my trigger for changing the URL. So if I wrap my icon, and as you can see that this is the icon that I imported from the by using the font Oscon site, and this is the text that is right beside of it. So if I click on it, then this link tag would get activated, and it would change the URL's last address to this string. And because the URL's address is to this string, and then what would happen? It would trigger this route function within this route function, and it would then render this home element. Now, similarly, as you can see that, similarly for now coming to the memes icon and memes tag. So this is I tag is the memes icon, and this is the name of the memes in the navbar. So as you can see that it is again inside the link tab, and it when we click on it, it would change the end of the URL to this slash memes string, and it would what again it would trigger this routes component which would render this main function. Similarly for all the other just a second. Similarly, I've done the same thing for all the other buttons. Now coming how it works. As you can see that this is the interesting part. Now first look at where I'm clicking, and also look where on the reload button. If it starts to reload, if it starts to do something like this, just a second, I forgot to start the server. It starts by npm start. As you can see that the page has started. So okay, as you can see that it is now loading, and it when it loads, as you saw previously, it shows the symbol of loading the whole page. So now see where I'm clicking, and also observe if it is refreshing the page or not. Now I'm clicking on the memes one. As you can see that the whole page changed except the navigation bar, because my main page also contains the navigation bar. If I remove the navigation bar from the main page, let me just do that and show you. So if I remove this, and also its names. Then as you can see that there is no navigation bar, but what's the obstacle that having no navigation bar brings is that we cannot now we cannot navigate to any other pages. We can just go back, so it would bring our navigation bar, but we will be at the home page. So to combat that, that's why I am rendering my navigation bar in each and every component that I am rendering. Just a second. Uh, yes, as you can see that this one. So now the bar would be rendered, and from here I can go to next sections as well. So if I go to news one, as you can see that it is rendering the news component. If I go to notes one, similarly for the notes one, and also see that it is not refreshing the whole page. So that's the magic of the React library. And if you go to the about us page, as you can see that the about us page has also rendered, but it does not trigger the refreshing of the whole tag of the whole website. So that's how the routing works, and that's how the link tag plays the main role for rendering the different components without any change, without any refresh in the main website. Well, that's all for today's video, and thanks a lot for watching.